bloody, demonic woman stood in deathly silence as the moon stood above her glaring brown eyes. Her eyes, unlimitedly widened, it seemed as if her gaze could stare into the very soul, wicked or humble. The petrified child looked right into her eyes. She could no longer bear her famished hunger and immediately fell to her pale knees, her shadow wiping over the child's face. The child shrieked in relentless fear, for there was no escape. She whispered into his ear, "Sleep now, child." The children all seemed to run away from me, but you did not. Away ran my friends to become sleepyheads. Please hush now, sleep now, dream now. Her dripping black teeth came closer and closer to the boy's face. The boy tried to knock her away when the first solid cut came into his cheek. It did no harm to the reckless villain. Deeper, deeper the teeth went, all the way to the cheekbone. Before the child could begin to cry, she started to pull back the skin and muscle inside the cheek, tearing through the face, blood running all over her mouth, dripping down her neck. The boy had no defense. The most piercing scream went out of his mouth as she ripped off the first piece of skin, echoing for miles. Her hands gestured toward his face, coming closer to his face every second. Once the first nail touched his face, all the others went down and dug into the dirty insides of his muscle. She acted as if she'd never done this before, but in her cold, black heart, she knew she had committed this thousands of times. The nails digging deeper and deeper into his skull. The more the helpless boy's eyes rolled back. She finally decided she had gone far enough, and with all her force contracted her arms, ripping all the flesh from the right cheek into the air across her side. A trail of thick blood came directly behind it. She started to whisper again, "Don't leave. I enjoyed your stay. But if you must go, that's okay." Grasping the knife in her pocket with no regrets, she took one deep breath. High in the air, the knife went down swiftly. The knife penetrated the skin and skull in the forehead, making a large slit in the brain. Her face went down to his forehead once again, and her tongue slowly touched the cut. She began to lick the blood off and chew her way into his forehead. She chewed her food with her grinding teeth and swallowed. She shook her head a little, back into her disguise of sanity. Leaving the corpse on the hard concrete, she turned her head and left, wiping her damp lips with her arm. Each footstep was quiet. She dropped the paper in her back pocket. It is believed it was handwritten with ink on papyrus. The paper foretold the legend. Dr. Larry Naga, an archaeologist, was digging through old New York grounds, finding no luck. However, his luck changed when he found this paper. The legend is told in a small story, and goes as the following from the news report source. There was a woman. Her name was unknown. Her life was anonymous. Her parents abandoned her at birth. She walked the filthy streets, teaching herself everything. But she never learned what real food was. She is now a cannibal. They call her Mulier Mandicare Philly as her full name because it was Latin for the woman to eat the children. She devoured my 3-year-old daughter, Rachel. It may seem silly, but it's true. I apologize for not being a good writer, but I know her story. She's out there. If you find this paper, please help yourself. Mark Traw, August 8th, 2008. 8 hours, 8 minutes, 8 seconds. Mark's corpse was found along the street the next day with a marking on his chest of 9 hours, 9 minutes, 9 seconds. It is presumed to be the time he died in coordination to the note. He is the peculiar reminder of this report. However, there is a secret that has not yet been divulged to the public. It was seen in many places such as Georgia, Florida, New York, West Virginia, Maryland, and even California. The body of Mark Traw was seen hanging from a United States flag in every city of the state, alive. It is claimed that Mark Traw was murdered in the first degree by a cannibal called Moliere. She is a wicked human. If you see her, call the police immediately. If you're looking for Moliere, you need only but go to sleep thinking about her. Sleep, child. Everyone's a child in Moliere's eyes. Sleep.